Hey friends, welcome to the very last episode of Viewer's Choice. If you haven't seen the State of the Channel address, you'll know now that, I'm just retiring the show. Say hi to Brittany back there, holding Marquette. Yeah, you can. We're retiring the show. It's just not doing as well as I'd hoped and haven't been quite as consistent with it. And so the way we're going to close this out is with a bang. We're going to do the final video that I edited about like a year and a half before, and that's going to be for 12 Angry Men. So stay tuned through the entire episode because you're going to find out what show is replacing Viewer's Choice. I've got a little like mini trailer, the one that I had put in the other State of the Channel video. But yeah, just stick till the end, and thank you very much for watching the show if you've watched it, and goodbye, Viewer's Choice. It's been fun.
What's up, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another episode of Viewer's Choice. We're here in Liam's humble abode of movie memorabilia and DVD posters, and there's a cat that we'll show you at the end of the video. Stick around to see an awesome cat. We just got finished watching 12 Angry Men at the suggestion of Random Street Theater. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you for giving us a good movie to watch.
This movie is directed by Sidney Lumet, the master, and is about a group of 12 jurors sitting in a hot, sweltering room with no fan or AC of any kind, deliberating on the verdict of this kid who may or may not have killed his father. And if he's found guilty, pretty much he gets the chair. So there's literally life or death stakes here. 11 of the 12 think that he's guilty, but one motherfucker, Henry fucking Fonda.
Mr. Henry Fonda.
He says not guilty, and they have to have a unanimous vote. And the reasons for that lead to one of the greatest movies I've ever fucking seen. I love this movie. I think these guys love this movie too.
Yeah, I watched this movie for the first time, like, when I was in high school. It blew my mind, and it's one that I've watched a few more times since, just to understand, like, the craft of it. There's a lot of classic movies that I respect, and, you know, it's like movies that I respect that they're very well made, but I don't necessarily, like, want to rewatch them. This is one that I actually enjoy rewatching because it's, you know, it's a short movie. It's like 90 minutes, and it's one of those movies that keeps your attention going the entire time.
You get involved into the facts of this case.
And the process.
You try to sit there and piecing all the evidence in your mind and deciding for yourself whether you think there's enough for a not guilty verdict or not. And this, I'm surprised watching this, how much we could all learn from this movie today. This is kind of like textbook 101 of how to have a civil discourse about something that you disagree with. Yeah. And this is the right way of how it's done.
There's a lot in this movie that's dealing about facts, and the fact that facts are the most important part of it. But there's also, I love that the movie really addresses the concept of empathy, and you really see that in Henry Fonda's character.
It looks at our legal system, like, at face value, everyone comes in with bias.
Right.
And that bias, you have to take that into consideration whenever you're deciding something like this. So I like how it removes bias for a little bit, and then puts it back in whenever you really need to address it. There might be a fact that is taken too literally when it can be disproven with a shred of reasonable doubt. If you just kind of think through it, and you don't take the facts at face value, you have to analyze the entirety of this to get a clear picture. On top of that, you've got the filmmaking, which is some of the most ambitious, inventive I've seen in a movie just ever. You don't realize until you're midway through one scene when you're like, oh my god, this hasn't cut once. The cinematography is so well realized and the choreography is so well crafted that you don't notice it, and it all feels like you're living in this room.
There's also some great one-liners in this movie.
There's a lot of roast.
There's some good roasting, you know.
These guys are real smartasses.
Yeah, I love a movie like this when you got 12 characters and they're all intelligent and they're saying intelligent things to each other. And
for the most part.
Well, except for
fucking racists.
What's cool about all 12 of these guys is they all each have their own unique personality.
Yeah. And you love that Sidney Lumet uses so many close-ups that you can look at each guy's face and you kind of remember the details on their faces too. And it's just, fuck it, we're gonna go into the best part of this movie.
My best part was the ending. When they all just left out and he asks him what his name is, because it makes you realize that this whole situation has helped bond these 12, strangers, really.
You see people broken down, you see guys about to get into fist fights, you see the best and worst in all of these guys.
And you don't know their names.
Yeah, you don't need to know their names, because character is based on action, not what is being said. The best part of this movie is whenever the old racist guy is ranting at the top of his lungs, he basically doesn't yell out racial slurs.
He believes that the defendant is guilty because of his upbringing and where
Exactly.
he's from.
That he's from the slums, that he had a hard time growing up. He has this stereotype view of other people.
It's that,
hang on.
it's that bias versus
Hang on.
facts.
Look how cute this is.
He's not doing anything.
No, you should put that as our thumbnail, 12 Angry Men.
12 angry men and a cat.
And the cat.
Oh my god, he's so cute.
The old racist guy starts yelling in his final tirade about how, you know about these people, and they kill each other, but I'm the first one to say something good about these people. Slowly, each other juror, starts slowly turning away from him. One of them gets up, faces the window, one of them moves to the other side of the room, one of them turns around, one of them starts looking away, and the camera's slowly pulling back to show all of these guys doing this. And you realize that at the end of it is just an angry racist yelling a tirade that no man is giving him his attention. Every guy is filling up every part of the frame, and then eventually the racist guy just kind of stops yelling and slowly walks towards the one part of the frame that hasn't been filled up by space and just sits down at that table.
It's like
just slowly.
It's one of those shots that looks like a painting.
And you don't notice it until about halfway. You see, if you're paying attention, what's going on in that scene, and it all looks natural. And it's amazing just showing the craft of filmmaking that went into this. Not only that, it is single-handedly the strongest example of how you deal with someone like that. How you deal with just this raging asshole. You don't give them the time of day. And you don't focus on them at all. You let them hang themselves on their words.
Henry Fonda's performance, I think, is
Yeah.
fantastic. All the performances in this movie is great, but but Henry Fonda's performance, the fact that over time he's able to convince, I guess it's the character's fault, but over time his character is able to convince all these everybody else of the innocence, and getting to see that throughout the course of the movie. And how he slowly convinces people and appeals to them using different rhetorics. That to me was very impactful, and I think it's a very understated performance. He doesn't get one scene when he's any moment when he gets loud and yelly and whatever. He's not like some self-appointed leader. You see over the course of the movie why he becomes sort of the leader of this side of the debate.
Do you think there's a part of this movie where he came in with a guilty verdict? The whole beginning of this movie, he says he votes not guilty. He says this because he doesn't want the decision between life or death to be decided haphazardly.
Even if he did walk in saying guilty, from the way his character speaks, I don't believe that he would almost ever believe in a verdict like that. He doesn't believe that unless you know 100%. That you should not take somebody's life.
He doesn't strike me as someone that would believe that.
Yeah.
I know, but do you think at one point in his performance you'd see Henry Fonda walk in and he believes that the guy's guilty, and maybe he's convincing himself by deliberating the facts of the case?
I don't know. Now, the worst part of this movie.
I can't really think of any. I mean,
Don't be a whore. Do it.
I can't think of
It's
any.
very hard for us to think about for
Nitpick like you've never fucking nitpicked in your entire goddamn life.
Okay, actually no mind. The fucking old dude. Sometimes they'll do close-ups to his face, and it's like, oh my god. His face takes up 99% of the frame.
Yeah,
and it's almost jarring. Because it's all these normal, and then fucking this giant cloud.
Some of the close-ups in this are well done. Some of them are just jarring and come out of nowhere. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
It was like Gandalf in Lord of the Rings. Is it secret? Is it secret? I was just like, ugh.
Or I think of the one from Revenge of the Sith, what it's like. You must know. "You are doomed," and it's like, I don't think so.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just like right up in his eyes. I'm like, holy
I don't want to
fucking
see
shit.
General Grievous's eye boogers and all that crap. Like, ugh.
If you think we should watch Revenge of the Sith next, comment below. Also, make sure to like and subscribe.
What is this, a 24-hour TV-a-thon? The worst part of this movie is whenever that one guy who wants to go to the baseball game says not guilty because he just wants to leave and go. But
That's how I would.
then the Italian guy comes in. I think he's Italian. He looks like it.
Yeah.
Stereotyping, fuck you. They have an argument about how you shouldn't say guilty or not guilty because you want to leave. You want to decide on someone's life. You want to decide because it's the right thing, because it's for justice. And that guy, I don't remember if he ever gave an actual reason why he would believe the guy's not guilty. You see, pretty much all the other guys do, and you understand why. Even the old racist guy, he realizes that he's seeing this guy as guilty for his upbringing and defaming his character without judging on the facts. And then you realize that if he takes the facts into consideration, it's pretty much sold. But I never found a moment when that guy with the weird like candy stripe fedora, says or like shows why he believes the guy's not guilty.
Now, the funniest part of this movie.
That sick fucking bird.
I was about to say that. I don't even remember what exactly he says.
No, it's the Italian guy.
Yeah, I know it's the Italian guy.
And the Italian guy and the old racist. The old racist just like gets shot down so much in this movie, and it's fucking hilarious because he's such a dick.
I beg pardon.
I beg pardon. What are you so polite about?
For the same reason you're not. It's the way I was brought up.
It's literally like the mighty fist of William Shakespeare just came and defenestrated this guy.
Oh my gosh, that's so inappropriate.
The funniest part was the nerdy guy with the high-pitched voice.
Oh my
That
God.
reminded us of someone from work.
I feel bad because every time he talked, we were just like, shut up!
Funny.
Even if he didn't remind us of the guy from work, he would pop up once in a while and he's like, hey, don't you remember this part? You're just like, shut up.
Alright, now the scores. I'd say 6 out of 6. This would probably be in my top, like, 100 movies of all time. I think it's perfectly crafted. Each performance brings a different idea to the film. It really shows the beauty of black and white filmmaking. It's a very watchable movie, but it's also one that, like, you leave this movie actually thinking about just the debates that are brought up in it. A masterclass in character building and just tension building, the fact that he's able to craft this amazing drama thriller, but it's set in just one room. And it's that emotional and impactful. So yes, absolutely 6 out of 6.
Similar to movies like To Kill a Mockingbird and Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, this is just a perfect movie. I mean, I had to nitpick long and hard to find something.
We all did.
Yeah.
And this is a movie that from frame one just grabs you, keeps on going, and hits at a level of humanity in a way that rarely do films do this. It's one of the greatest films I've ever seen, and it'll probably jump up to like top 10, top 15. Like, I really have to rethink about my movies now. 6 out of 6 stars. It's fucking perfect.
6 out of 6. They basically said everything I said. I mean, there are little things to nitpick, but not enough to keep me from saying this is a nearly perfect film. The acting is great. The drama is great. The pacing is great.
Yeah.
It's just one of those near perfect films, you know?
If you like this video, please click the like button down below. Also make sure to subscribe to be the first to know whenever we have new content. Also make sure to click that bell icon to do whatever the fuck that it does.
We have Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as social media. Please like, follow us on there. Talk to us. Have some fun. We also share movie news.
Also, if there's a movie that you'd like to see us review, make sure to comment that below. I mean, we're taking suggestions. That's what this whole series is. Fuck you. We're keeping this part in. So if you want to see us review Revenge of the Sith, please comment us below.
Look at that cat.
This goddamn cat. We've got 24 seconds left.
Arthur, say something. Do
Say
something.
I'll give him up on you. I feel like Arthur's recommending Revenge of the Sith. We should do that.
That was his Revenge of the Sith meow.
That was his review of Revenge of the Sith.
Blind spots. I haven't seen Predator. I haven't seen Citizen Kane. I haven't seen Vertigo. I haven't seen Chinatown. Haven't seen Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And this show is going to be a way for me to kind of remedy that while also giving you guys a way to interact with our channel. The way this is going to work is on our social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm going to put up a poll. It's going to have 4 movies. And from there, the winner of those polls, that's what the episode is going to be. Each month is going to have a theme behind it. I already have preliminary ideas for the themes, but if you guys want to toss themes at me, feel free. I'll totally take your suggestions here. But as for right now, we are going to announce the theme of this month's Blind Spots episode, which is Film Bro Classics. Do you use Letterboxd to pick up women? Does the idea of a black Superman piss you off? Do you cream yourself at the words Quentin Tarantino? Well, come on down to Film Bro Classics, where we've got 4 delicious selections ready for your vote. Inception by Christopher Nolan. Fight Club, directed by David Fincher. Donnie Darko by Richard Kelly. And American Psycho by Mary Herron. And if you're a film bro and you're offended, step out of the basement and take a shower, because I don't fucking care.